The state of emergency was the darkest period in the history of River State. River people felt very bad, and indeed Niger Delta felt very bad, despite the effort by the regional body, Pan Niger Delta Forum, led by Alfred Spiff, His Excellency Obang Atta, and the national chairman, Egali, His Excellency Bula Egali, and all the leadership of the national Niger Delta, despite our appeal to Mr. President to see how we can intervene to make peace. But unfortunately, Mr. President looked the other way around and condemned everything about SIM. By condemning SIM, he has condemned the entire state and came with a darkness, 6 months emergency rule. That, as if that is not enough, he came with a retired naval admiral, Ebok Isang, and he came to plunder all our resources. After plundering all our resources, at least we collected over 250 billion from the Federation account, including derivation, and also collected over another over 200 billion again from the internally generated revenue. On the ground, it met some other resources being saved by SIM for the rainy days, and bluntly refused to pay contractors, and all contract work, all good construction, every construction came to a halt. So River people were in full darkness. All we were hearing was it was awarding contract for CCTV for 22 or 25 billion naira, and things that are not relevant to our needs were the areas he was interested. And it became a serious problem for the people of River State. So everybody went to God to pray. And we thank the Almighty God and the leaders, the leadership. If you will recall, in the town hall meeting organized by the Central Television in GRA, when we saw the way things were going, I came out boldly to say, look, enough is enough. We have to change our strategy. We must make peace. And there and then I called on Wike to call his godson to the house, lock him in the room, and let them resolve their differences instead of outsiders coming to squander our resources. I also called on Fubara to say, go back to your Oga, and both of you should lock yourself. You don't need any third party. When you resolve your differences, you tell us, and we will obey. And within a few hours, Wike accepted the offer, and SIM also agreed. And for some time now, there have been dialogue upon dialogue. I know the group led by, the elders led by Fedi Anabraba, Oshiji Okocha, and Sazana Wuse also put a lot of pressure on the governor, on the former governor, Nyesom Wike, and the assembly to see reason how they can make peace. The other group led by Ada George, the elders forum led by Ada George, also advised the governor to embrace peace. And at the end of the day, after the 6 months, we can achieve peace, and the governor is back in office, the deputy governor is back in office, the House of Assembly is also back in office. Well, some of us observed the scenario in Nigeria. We saw that the judiciary is comatose, they are sleeping, they are now an appendix of the presidency. We also observed that the National Assembly is also in comatose, and they are greedy and an appendix to the presidency. So if you look at this fight and you want to fight, where will you take the fight to? Will you take the fight to the judiciary that is sleeping, or an appendix to the presidency, or you take it to the National Assembly that is sleeping, or has compromised completely, has also gone against the Constitution. Because if we are talking about asking Mr. President for going contrary to the Constitution, the National Assembly themselves, who are supposed to check the President, also went against the Constitution. Because the Constitution is very clear as to how a governor should be removed and how a country should be ruled. Section 1, subsection 1, 2, 3 is very clear on how governance will take place in Nigeria. Section 11.4 authorizes the National Assembly to make law for the country. In the absence of the National Assembly, they can make law for the state. But that section level 4, the last paragraph, made it very clear that notwithstanding their powers to make laws for the state, they cannot make law to remove the governor or deputy governor. Mr. President used section 305 to declare the state of emergency and transmitted it to the National Assembly. The National Assembly did not only flout section level 4, they do not also understand section 305. And to make matter worse, instead of voting to get to third majority, they want on voice vote, which was also totally in defiance with the Constitution. And so, when you look at all that scenario, the governors of the PDP governors went to court, and as I'm speaking to you now, the Supreme Court refused to listen to them. And we have also experienced what has happened within the period and the attitude of the Supreme Court. So we now realize that there is no point fighting. And I thank Sim for his wisdom for not challenging the state of emergency, because if he had challenged the state of emergency, maybe he would not be back in office for the next 2 years. He will be in court to be looking at it. And because the Supreme Court is no longer dynamic, the Supreme Court is no longer a court of justice. So even if you go to court, you will not see justice. So for him to accept it, I thank him. And I thank all Rivers people, particularly the regional bodies, the INC, the Gali and his group, the PANDEF, for not taking the laws into their hand. Because same appeal to all of them. All of us appeal to them, please don't do anything that will further aggravate the situation. Because it was a total provocation. A lot of people were provoked, and the regional provocation, mostly when Wike insulted the entire nation, everybody was provoked. But at the end of the day, Wike pacified everybody and asked nobody to demonstrate. Some persons are of the view that, Wike, Sim did not allow, people did not demonstrate when Sim was, the President of Nigeria was declared the River State. Now, Sim as a person knew very well that if you allow that demonstration to take place, people will die. Yes, when people die, because definitely recent event has shown that the people at the Nima Kano, when the American agency went to extradite the president of Burkina Faso, the people came out and blocked the whole place and said, kill us before you take our president. And when the Americans saw that it's not easy to do that, what they do is to make peace with him and left. So if people had come out in their numbers in the airport, in the government house, in the major streets, Shoba, Aba Road, and said nobody should enter Port Harcourt, there is no way you will bring, how many soldiers will you bring to enter? And possibly trigger the ICC to observe the genocide that is about to happen in the country. But Sim refused to do all that and said people should leave it and accept the state of emergency in good faith. And everybody now have to accept it. And today, Wike was even the person to say, oh, the emergency is over, before Mr. President proclamation. And both of them have to go to the elders of the same group, Wike's group, the House of Assembly, Wike and Sim, all of them went to Mr. President and had a meeting with him where they resolved their differences and so told Mr. President to remove the state of emergency Having done that, Mr. President has graciously announced that SIM can return to work, and SIM is back. And you can see the organic crowd, the crowd that came out from every part of the state for the 2-3 days that he was coming. The first day, nowhere to pass from UTC to Government House, everywhere was totally blocked. And the second day, from the airport to Government House, everybody was blocked. These are the same people who would have been carbon folder to him, but he did not want it. And even this crowd that came, SIM was not even in support. They don't even know that he was coming to see a crowd waiting to receive him. So in all, we thank God that peace has returned to Rivers State. I am happy that the elders led by His Excellency Rufus Ada George has issued a statement calling for peace. Then the Elder Council led by Chief Ferdinand Abraba has also issued a statement all calling for peace. All the governor on its own has also said he wants peace. So what is happening today in Rivers State is jojo. I think this is the time when we can all dialogue. When the time of war is over, we have fought, we have quarreled, and that time has come. What we received was a punishment by bringing a strange person, stranger completely, to come and loot our resources, come and squander our resources, and nothing to show for what the period is state. But if you look at the state of emergency itself, at least in Nigeria, we have states like Borno, Benue, Plateau, Zamfara, Sokoto. These are areas that are hotbed. This area we have criminal elements who are fighting every day, killing innocent people. And that is where we need to declare a state of emergency. But that was not the case. Rivers State has been peaceful throughout the period Bas came. The place was peaceful. Till today, we are a very peaceful people. And so, I don't know the essence of the state of emergency declaration. But on the wider look, maybe the way things were going between the House of Assembly and the governor, if the president did not declare the state of emergency and the House of Assembly maybe make effort to impeach the governor. Of course, that was not possible because the chief judge was not on their side. But if that materializes, you are likely going to get violence in the state. And Mr. President, in his wisdom, maybe saw that as a reason for the state of emergency. So, in all, we are past that dark stage. Dark age is gone. We are now in a brighter age. And what will take us forward today is nothing but peace, nothing but dialogue, nothing but joy. That is time for everything under the earth. It's time to quarrel. There's time to reconcile. There's time to be born. There's time to die. There's time to be joyful. There's time for sadness. So the saddest part of our life is gone. I think we should now move into joy. Rivers people are also happy because they believe SIM is the better project. And no part of the state will say they have not tested part of SIM in the short period they stayed. And we believe if SIM will be allowed to work for this year and next year, the development of Rivers State will take to a new level. At least we can now be looking at up to Lagos, because we are far away now. So this 6 months was like another 6 years backward. So it's coming, we'll be able to bring development in the infrastructural side, the medical, education, and even in the social life. At a point, nightlife was almost dead in Port Harcourt. But these things are coming back. The economy is now working. People are now happy to trade because things are so harsh in the economy today. And the cushion, the effect that somebody is going to give us a leverage, the roads are being built, people can drive smoothly to their various destinations. It's a plus, which the man has done. And I believe that it should not change. I would believe it will not change. It will continue to do those good work for which people love him. And Rivers State will become greater and greater and greater. We want him. And when the issue of second tenure came up, Rivers people were just waiting to see whether it was true or not. But thank God it's also clear that there's no impediment into his not becoming second tenure governor. Definitely Rivers people will want to go second tenure. And everybody will know that same is the answer to all electoral problem we have. People have their opinion, people have their view, but one thing you must look at it is the end result. Now, if same, like I said before, was the type who said, okay, I won't agree, people will die. And when people die, at the end of the day, people will, when they are assessing same, they will also assess him on the number of people that died in this cause. And the war, River State will, properties, assets will be scattered, the infrastructures will be damaged. And the man will weigh all that and decide to follow the path of peace. Now, let me give an insight. People see that there's a fight between Same and his Oga Wike at the assembly. I can tell you here, right down, that Same was not fighting Wike, neither was he fighting the assembly. Because at the point in time in the struggle, it was clear that the assembly goofed and they committed perjury by declaring from APC, denying that they are not APC, filing different affidavits in court, which is completely a perjury matter. When the matter came for discussion, Same refused us to follow that perjury matter. Even when the Supreme Court was also against him, he still not follow. It is not the man who takes vendetta that because you have done this to me, I will do this to you. Same appreciate the fact that Wike assisted him to be where he is today. And so fighting Wike is not what he will use to pay him back. So all along he has been defending himself, trying to see how this matter can be resolved. He's such a peaceful character that a lot of people were angry that he's not a fighter. But again, let's look at it. You fight, you wound yourself. At the end of the day, you come to the round table to discuss. We had the Biafra war, several millions of people died, properties lost. At the end of the day, Nigeria came back. But what was the end result? So many people are still having the pains of that Biafra war. So if Same was the fighting type and he fought and people were injured, people died, that pain, we cannot erase it for centuries. So the man tactically avoided anything that will bring problem. As a person who follows him, I mean, at the point say, okay, why is he doing that? But when you look at the larger picture of peace and see how he can key in to quickly achieve that peace, you follow that route, that following a route that will cause so much damage before you get peace. So those who are angry, please try to understand the political dynamics and see if you're in Same's position, what are you going to do to get the same peace we're looking for? Now that peace is gradually coming in, we want everybody to key into that peace, both those who supported Wike, those who supported the assembly, those who supported the Same. Same was able to relax all his movement, Same movements. And I think Wike also relaxed the GDI. And that is also to give room for peace, because several opinions would have come, different advice would have come, and people would take actions that are not authorized by the leadership. So in all, the actors have decided to make peace. Our duty now is to support that peace process, because peace is more than anything. There's nothing that can compare to peace. No amount of violence can compensate peace. When we have peace, everything works well. We are not disorganized. You can see rainy season and dry season. Dry season, no matter how hot the sun is, you will go out. But rainy season, when the rain start pouring, some persons may not be able to leave their house. So that is, look at that as the case of peace and war. Now in Georgia, we want to pray that Nigerian Rivers people should appreciate that peace and key into it. The assembly members, when they came, they started with their former pattern of arrogance and violence. And I think by the time we start talking to them, they also realize that this is not the former time. when you can say, governor, do this, governor, do that. No, they must work together as government. They are part of the government, they are the third arm of the government. They must work together. The judiciary, the executive, and the legislature must work together to give us that dividend of democracy. Both sides have lost. Those sides supporting same.
So guys, you guys have listened to what Elder Sara Igbe have to say about Wike and Fubara. So, in my own view, I feel that this settlement of this Fubara and Wike war was not magic. It was political calculations and pressure from different power blocks. Remember, Wike is not just a former governor, he's a serving minister under President Tinubu and still wields massive influence in river politics. Now, why did Fubara refuse to openly fight him? Elder Sara Igbe made it clear. Fubara knew that going head-to-head with Wike would destabilize River State. And if you know Nigerian politics, you know once there is crisis in a state, the people are the ones that suffer the most. Salaries are delayed, projects are abandoned, and insecurity rises. So Fubara chose peace over war, not because he was weak, but because he understood the bigger picture. Another reason is political survival. Let's be honest, Wike is too powerful at the national level. If Fubara had challenged him too early, Abuja might have turned against him. Instead, Fubara decided to play the long game, calm, calculated, and waiting for the right time when his own political structure becomes stronger. So when Sara Igbe said Fubara refused to fight Wike, it is not cowardness, it is wisdom. In politics, you don't always win by fighting. Sometimes you win by patience, by strategy, and by knowing when to act. Anyway, guys, that's all we have for today. Let me know your thoughts below. And also, if you're coming across my channel for the first time, do wait to hit the subscribe button, like and share this video. So guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys again in my next video.